Hello, Kaipacha here with the weekly Pele report. It is now August 2nd, and indeed I have navigated the Irish Sea to make it over to Dublin Bay. So beautiful. What an amazing landscape we have here. Would love to show you a lot more of it. It's perfect for the moon moving through Sagittarius, doing a little traveling to foreign lands and foreign places. And she's going to be there until tomorrow, hitting up with, having a little meeting there with Lilith and Saturn before she goes into Capricorn tomorrow. And then she's going to be moving in through Capricorn and coming into a conjunction with Pluto, our good friend from the underworld. And of course, we know that Jupiter is exactly square to Pluto at this particular time. I mean, it's exact, okay, on Saturday, but you know, both these bodies move so slowly, we can say that Jupiter has been square Pluto almost all year, if you want to be a loosey-goosey with the orbs. So the moon is going to really highlight that square between Jupiter and Libra, Pluto in Capricorn, before she moves onward and upward into Aquarius. And, you know, that she's going to move into Aquarius on Sunday, okay? And just before that, of course, she'll square with Uranus, move into Aquarius for the long-awaited and heralded lunar eclipse. That lunar eclipse is at 15 degrees, 25 minutes of Aquarius. She's going to be opposite the sun at 15 degrees, 25 minutes of Leo. And we know also, if you've been listening to the Pele report, okay, that sun has been traveling along with Mars. So we're going to have a Sun-Mars conjunction opposite the moon, and these are very close to her own lunar nodes. That's why it is an eclipse. So very powerful timing. And the last thing probably before I start looking at the camera here to bring up is, last but not least, Uranus. Uranus is stationing, stopping, still in the sky. It stays at the same degree for quite some time here and goes retrograde in the late final degrees of Aries. So this heralds a large shift. Let me look at the camera and talk about it. Oh my goodness. There's always so much to talk about. I want to get it all together before I turn the camera on, but it never happens. So you just got to go with the flow of it. And that's kind of what Leo is about. Flying by the seat of your pants and just showing up and going for it because you have the power within. You are representing the sun, the creative life force. I didn't know if I wanted to share this or not, because it might take too long. I don't want to run out of battery again, but I want to share this experience that I had with the white lions down in South Africa. I went down there to see the white lions at the reserve that Linda Tucker has made. Maurice Fernandez can tell you more about that. But she has a whole pride of white lions, and they're in kind of a reserve, so they're wild, but they were born in that reserve, so they're not like totally, you know, totally wild and ferocious. But we went out, I was in the back of a pickup truck, and we went out to see them one night, and she said, before we went out there, don't look them in the eye. Like whatever you do, don't look them in the eye. And so we go out there and we go into the bush, and I'm sitting in the back of this open pickup truck, and here comes the pride of lions, and we stop the truck and we sit there, and the lions come and gather and start walking around checking out the truck. And this female, fully grown white lion comes right over by the back of the truck where I am. And I forgot what she said. And I looked that lion right in the eye. And it was, you know, it was like 5 feet, 6 feet away from me. And I must say, it's been a life-changing experience. Seeing into the eye of that lion. It was so piercing, so powerful, so like explosive, like a star exploding within its eyes, and it radiated out. It was like physical. It was desire. It was desire, and it was like I will devour you. I will take you. I will. You are. It's like I will overpower you. I will conquer you. And then it hit me. It's like, oh my God, that's right. I'm not supposed to look at. And I turned away because I had the feeling that this lion was just about, you know, to jump on me and kill me. It was a frightening experience, coming face to face with a superior being, a superior power that could just like I was nothing, like I was a fly that it could swat. So powerful. And this is that lion energy. And not only is the sun moving through Leo the lion, but now we have Mars together with it, the warrior energy, and the north node of the moon building up to this solar eclipse. Yeah, a couple of, about 3 weeks from now. And it is a very, very powerful time in all of our lives, for planet Earth, of feeling that will, that want, that desire to take, to have, to conquer. I mean, I won't be surprised if some wars break out, okay? Or some psychopathic leaders. I know there's one down there in Africa that's like, won't get out of office. And I know Noord-Korea. And I mean, there's like Trump. And you've got all these, and it's just like lions, lions even fighting lions on the political front, okay? And we don't need to talk about, the educational or the religious or the medical or the, pharmaceutical, I mean, it's happening all over where there can just be this, I'm going to take, I am bigger than you, stronger than you, wilder than you. It's like it's very powerful. And so for each one of us, this can be, an amazing, wonderful time, and it really depends on your individual chart, where you're coming from, where you're going to. But in general, I will say most of us have been conditioned through the patriarchy to be small. It's like, be small, take what we give you, spit back what we tell you to spit back, do what we tell you to do, and, don't get creative, don't get ideas of your own, don't try to be your own authority. We want you to submit. So there's a lot of socio-cultural religious conditioning, okay, around submission and being small. And so this is actually a very wonderful time for so many individual people to break out of that old conditioning. And that's what this full moon moving through Aquarius is liberation. Aquarius is, just like really not being attached. It's the future. Hello, Aquarius is like, I'm moving to the future. And the moon is the past. I mean, the moon in Aquarius is not a comfortable position for the moon either. It's in conjunct Cancer, 150 degrees is, not a pleasant aspect. And when the moon moves through Aquarius, it kind of like extracts us. Okay, it extracts us, and it extracts us out of the past and out of our childhood and out of our socio-cultural conditioning into a revolutionary, state of being, or a rebellion, yes? that there's a bigger world, a global picture, even beyond global. There's a planetary, okay? There's a solar system. There's a galaxy. There's a universe. It wants to take us up, 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 out, and away. So this is like a really beautiful, you know, the full moon has to do with illumination. You know, it's really, you know, it's really beautiful. And it is this Leo-Aquarius axis that we're really dealing with here for a year and a half. And these eclipses are falling, okay, right on, okay, this, you know, Leo-Aquarius axis. It's a total solar eclipse, yeah. And right around that time, Saturn is also going direct. Right now, we have Jupiter squaring Pluto. I talked about the first square. Jupiter came around last November. Okay, went retrograde. I think it squared again like March, April. Okay, this is the third and final. So this is really a time where a whole bunch of, you know, plans, business plans, financial plans, moving plans, relationship plans. This is where, you know, there's a real culmination of energy happening here. You know, so I've been saying it for months, you know, that August, you know, August is when it starts to move forward again. Yeah. And our plans are either realized or dashed on the rocks. But I want to talk about immature Leo, and I want to talk about mature Leo. And it's just like, you know, Leo, there's a couple of kinds of Leos, right? You know, running around. There's the little cub, the little lion cub that's playful and light and fun. And, you know, if it bites you, it won't take your finger off. Okay, you know, and then there's, you know, the lion and the lioness, and they will devour you, yeah. But when it comes to, and it's also has to do with the mantra for this week, right? And this is the challenge for Leo, okay? Because Leo can represent the adolescent, the teenager, who knows it all and has it all, and, you know, adults are old, you know, out of it and don't know what's going on, and like, I am it, you know, and that matures. It matures through what? Aquarius, the polarity point of Aquarius, that you are not alone, that you are not the total source. You may be the sun, the star for this solar system, but Aquarius is, like I said, the galaxy and the universe. It's extraterrestrial, yeah? And as you know, so this can be humbling. But not only humbling, it's like, you know, the star doesn't have to, like, be humble, but it's just another star in the galaxy. And this matures Leo into being the king or the queen. So the mature elder expression, okay, of Leo is not all about devouring, conquering, taking for my own, controlling, and being the center, so much as, okay, being the king or the queen. It's like, okay, I am here, okay, for my kingdom. And I am here to bring, you know, righteousness and stateliness and generosity and, you know, all the moral, ethical, you know, standards, you know, that we can, you know, live in peace and harmony together as a community. Another buzzword for Aquarius. The greater, whether it's a global community or whether it's your local tribe or just like, you know, whether it's your friends or your social groups or organizations that you belong to. Maybe you belong to the New Paradigm Astrology community. You can find out more about that on my website. But, you know, I was just really watching, there's so many flowers here in Dublin, and it is just like so beautiful. And I was just, you know, observing this flower this morning, just before the Pele report here, you know. And it's true, you know, the seed opens up and the flower grows. And what does the flower grow with? It takes the light of the sun. It takes the rain and the water. It takes and absorbs the minerals and everything that it needs from the soil. And it's like, in the early stages of our existence, of any life, you think of a baby, it just nurses and nurses and nurses and wants. We start out this way. And it's necessary. It's a stage of life. You look at the medicine wheel, or however you want to look, the age point factor in your horoscope, or your progressions. But this early stage is absorbing. It's naturally selfish. Okay, it's naturally self-centered. Okay, and it's like what I need and what I want and what I desire and what I wish for, and I. And this is, like I say, beautiful, natural, wonderful, and it's a phase. It's a stage. And you can get caught in it. And I think some of our leaders are caught in it. I won't say who, but it's pretty obvious, okay, that these egocentrical, individuals, is really about, okay, it's my fame and my fortune, and it leads to greed, and it turns ugly if it's carried beyond its natural, time. Everything has a time and a space, and it's beautiful in that time and that space. And when it's outside that time and the space, it gets distorted and perverted and is ugly and moldy and rotten and stinky. So the flower, what does it do? It takes all this stuff in, and then it grows, and it all brings it into the bud, and then that bud opens. And you have, okay, this unique individual expression, okay, no two flowers are the same, and it gives its beauty. It gives back, to the environment, to the community, to the world, everything that it has gathered up and stored and mutated and transformed within itself. It gives it back, and then it throws out some seeds. So it can happen all over again. So this is the factor, I think, to remember with all of this Leonian energy, okay, is that walking through our relationships and our jobs and our communities, there's this Jupiter in Libra squaring this Pluto, is saying, Libra, equal sharing. I give and I take. And you don't want to tilt over too much, in any one side, or you're off balance. So you're in your center when you're feeling, first of all, in peace, and you're calm, and you could take it or leave it, or you could, it's like you're in a free space. Aquarius is about freedom. And that free space of non-attachment, yes, if you'd really like to give it to me, I will gladly take it and I will gladly receive. I've got, no qualms or guilt about receiving. And at the same time, I have a history, I have a biography, I have creativity, I have things that I want to share and give to the world. And we want to just be doing this breathing. This in and out and back and forth, and it gets too lopsided one way. It can also get too lopsided the other, where you're all about, what are they going to say, or what are they going to think, or what do they need, or, and you're a doormat. People are using you and walking all over you. I mean, you can go too far the other way too, but right now, the tendency will be, okay, and particularly as the moon comes around, okay, to that north node, it's going to be just drawing it more and more and more in. One last note that I can mention if I don't run out of frickin' battery here. The north node is our solar purpose. And so the moon moves away. She's been moving away, bringing that solar purpose down to our earthly south node, emotional subconscious instincts. So we imbue our subconscious with solar purpose. And after this lunar eclipse, okay, on Monday is a turning point. And then it's going to be the ascension, the resurrection out of our instincts and senses and needs and fears and wants and everything. And it's going to come back. And we're going to have that, it's a North Node solar eclipse. So it's going to be like a super powerful time of really moving forward. Somebody sent me an email the other day, you know, it's like, when should I be starting my business? Like, you know, is it now? Or I don't want to do it after Uranus goes retrograde or whatever, you know. And I say it's, you know, it is best to just like be building and holding this energy till after the 25th. When Saturn goes direct, and it's after that total solar eclipse. So this is just really a time of building, you know, well, I mean, we're not at the South Node yet. We're still like really bringing in, you know, from the last cycle, yeah, that last new moon. So we're still bringing in that energy, bringing down that solar purpose, having an inner awareness, inner clarity, and then that is going to, you know, emerge again, and we will blossom. By the end of August, we're going to be all a bunch of flowers. So in the early stages of life, I take all I need to grow, then transform it within, showing where I've been, and give it back to the world. You know, our biography, the hero's journey, the heroine's journey. Okay, it's like, sure, you know, the flower, it takes in the rain and the sun and the minerals, but it does its own unique alchemy. Each one of us is our own unique alchemist, and we have something unique and original to give back. And that's, you know, that really comes, okay, through our history, or her story, yeah, depending on where you're at with that. So it is this journey that we ultimately use, yeah, to transform ourselves and transform our gifts and our heritage and everything that we have into something for the future generations. Yeah! So in the early stages of life, I take all I need to grow, then transform it within, showing where I've been, and give it back to the world. May you take in and give back in splendor, glory, and joy. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.